It's it's Renee, the practical shaman. I've decided in 2023 I'm going to come live more often with some wind wisdom and wind tips and tricks and other nature spirited ideas as well. If you're not a fan of the Shaman's Cave with myself and Sandra Ingerman, go over to shamanstv.com. We broadcast every other week and we offer great wisdom advice as well. But today I'm going to call a wind spirit card and teach you how to call to a wind spirit for your own guidance and your own prosperity and your own balance because we're in some pretty windy times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach into the wind sack. Actually, this is a wind bowl, like an incantation bowl, maybe. I don't know. It's a wind bowl. But if you go over to thepracticalshaman.com, go to any blog there, you can get a set of these. Or if you go over to the Wind Clan, there's a wind spinner at the top of the page. So you could come play along with me weekly and pull your own wind spirit card for the week. Now, it's really important when you call to a wind that at the end of your time with that wind, you send that wind home, or your life can get pretty windy. So that's tip number one. You call to a wind spirit for guidance, then you send the wind spirit home with a great big smile on your face and say, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming. All right, so this week's wind spirit card, and this is just for a sample. I have my own that I'm working with. I've made prayer flags, and I have one for each month, but you can also call to a wind spirit card for guidance for like a endeavor, for a project, for a day, for a date, for a situation. And I just pulled Ehécatl, which is the Aztec wind god of passion, and it's about rising from the ashes. Now, that really feels true to my heart at this moment, and I've been rising from the ashes of a little bout of COVID. And I had come from the Pacific Northwest where I lived on an island, pretty much isolated with me and a few neighbors and my, daily wind walks, to a place where I went into LA into a networking meeting. And sure enough, somewhere between all the restaurants I went to the networking events, I got sick. And so I had found that the last few weeks had been feeling like this rising up from the ashes, coming back from this period where I've got kind of flat for a minute, and then the energy has been coming, and actually really clear energy has been coming ever since. But also that there's like that I expend this energy, and then I okay, gotta rest now. So who else knows what that is when you kind of rise from these ashes and then all of a sudden you're like, all right, time for rest. So this wind is about passion. And so we call to Ehécatl when plans have turned to ashes, when you feel heartbroken, or when you're ready to call forth your beloved. Well, the beloved that I'm calling forth at the moment is writing. I'm having this beloved experience with the words on the page for the new book that I'm working on, because believe it or not, it's been 5 years since Winds of Spirit came out, and it's always time for a new book after, well, maybe some people are faster at it, but I'm birthing a new project. And so I really feel like I'm having a love affair with the words, a love affair with the writing. And as we just round out the corner of Valentine's Day, that's wherever your passion is, whether it's in the kitchen cooking or whether it's with a lover, to find something that you're passionate about so that you can re-spark and rekindle the flame. And the winds are great for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to call into this wind spirit. We're not going to call into the passion, because that could be, we're going to call to the wind spirit, to Ehécatl, to come in here and to be with us, merge with us, so that we can move forward through our life this week with passion. How does that sound? Sounds pretty good to me. All right, so what we do is we call to wind breathing. And now Sandra and I just did a show about reinvigorating our practices. And so this is a practice that you can do every single day. And if you don't have a wind whistle, you can get one over at thepracticalshaman.com. And if you do have one, great. And if you don't have a wind whistle, you can also use your hand. Or you can just use your breath. You can do an intentional breath where you breathe into the count of 7 to 10, hold that breath in, and then after the count of 7 to 10, depending on how this breathing works for you, you breathe it out, and you breathe it the first breath out through your coccyx bone, out into the belly of the earth to mulch with the grass and the ground and the sand and the earth, and bring that breath down into the belly of the mother. And then on that second, you stay empty to what's comfortable. Now, if I'm trying too hard to stay empty to the count of 7 or 10, the next wind breath is like a gulp of air. But I'd rather breathe in that second wind breath slowly, because I'm breathing in the spirit of Ehécatl, or whichever wind you're breathing in, and bringing that in to fill up my belly, holding it to the count of 7 or 10 if I'm feeling really spacious that day, and then releasing it out, this time with the intention of sending it out more through my heart, out to connect with this wind spirit, to connect with the power of this wind into my life. I stay empty again, and then on that third wind breath in, again, I breathe it in with intention of bringing in this wind spirit into my body, into my soul, into my spirit, holding it again. And on this next one, I connect with this wind as it circulates around the world, connecting me with everything that's mine to connect with. The passion, what's rising up for me in my own life. All right, so I'm going to stand up here to do this wind breathing. So because that's how I find that it works better for me. I'm going to raise this up a little bit so you're not looking up at me like I'm a wind god. Because in this tradition, the guru's dead. We are all connected to nature, and we can go direct. And that's what my new book is about going direct. And so these practices, that I'm going to be working with on sharing more are about going direct, how to go direct in your life, so for these direct experiences. So I invite you to get comfortable, spread your legs so that you're about shoulder width apart, bend, soften your knees, okay? And then let's take that first deep wind breath in. Hold it. And then send it down through the belly into the earth. Stay empty. And now take that second wind breath in and invite Ehécatl into you, into the energy of passion, into your body. Feel it rise in your belly. And now release it. And merge with Ehécatl, or the wind spirit that you call. Remain in that emptiness. What wants to arise in you in the emptiness? Pay attention. And on that next wind breath in, breathe in that possibility. And then as you release it, connect with the winds as it moves effortlessly around the planet. And when you're ready, return to your normal breathing. And I invite you to order a copy of Winds of Spirit, and it's going to be on Audible probably in the next couple of months. I'll let you know. Stay tuned. And I'm really looking forward to listening to my own book be read to me. Like, wow, it's just is very exciting. And Nathan's done a beautiful job of translating the words and the energies and the spirits into a 7.5, I don't know, hour listen. So I'll be very excited to hear that. All right. Well, if you're not already over at the Wind Clan, join us over there, or join Sandra and I weekly at the Shaman's Cave. And we look forward to sharing more. I look forward to sharing more of these wind practices with you this year, and also some of my other practical shamanic tools. All right. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk soon.